So just tell us a bit of what you did before you set up the tattoo shop.
Before I had this studio, I had another studio just around the corner called Pure Ink. Basically, a friend of mine owned the studio before me. I kind of went there to get tattooed quite a bit, and then, you know, obviously I had this passion for tattoos for the last kind of, 10 years, 12 years really. And he kind of just put it to me, look, do you want to kind of own half the business and, you know, see what you can do within the industry? And I was like, yeah. So that was kind of my learning curve. I had that place for 3 years. That was my kind of learning curve, my apprenticeship into the industry, so to speak. Kind of learned what I needed to know, you know, grassroots level, and then now it's about putting it into action and seeing what we can do with this place.
Traditionally, tattoos are kind of associated with like Hell's Angels kind of people, the hardcore rockers, but now we've got like sports stars, we've got like pop artists, rap artists, covered in tattoos. What do you think kind of been responsible for the shift away from more traditional people having it to so many different kind of people having it now?
Legislation. In New York, for instance, 10 years ago, tattoos were illegal. You weren't allowed to have tattoo studios. You know, it wasn't something that is so freely available as it is today. You know, governments around the world have kind of realised that they can't keep this art form underground. That it's best that they kind of legislate it and make sure that people have licenses and, you know, studios have everything in place with regards to hygiene and, you know, being clinical. And then obviously celebrities had a huge influence on it as well. You know, people like David Beckham getting tattooed, and the rise of the kind of celebrity tattoo artists through like Kat Von D and Army James and those kind of people. It's really helped shape the industry and move it forward. But as techniques have moved forward, as you know, everything with regards to the way tattoos are done has progressed and moved forward. It's more freely available now, and people are really kind of picking their ears up to it because they see their friends getting tattooed, they see their family getting tattooed, and they want a piece of the action, really. I definitely don't see it as a kind of disposable art form. You know, it's definitely something that is with you for life. And people who just do it for a passing trend, you know, everyone kind of wants sailor hats and stuff like that at the moment, but they've got to realise that that's going to be on your body until you die. It's not just a passing fad, it's something that's part of you, an integral part of you, especially if you have it in physical places. So, you know, people really need to kind of respect that a lot more and, you know, acknowledge that it's a lifetime commitment. It's not just a 2-minute fad. When you consider you're putting something on your body for the rest of your life, you're going to go through a hell of a lot of pain putting it there, and you're going to go through a hell of a lot of money getting it on your skin. You need a service that kind of appreciates what you're going through. The way I kind of compare it, the way we kind of formulate the business now is the same way as buying a bespoke suit. You know, you're spending a lot of cash. You want something that's going to kind of show how much you're spending. You want that, you want that service. You want to leave with a massive smile on your face, even though you've been pissing with blood and you've just walked out about 200 quid. So we wanted to create somewhere that just felt friendly, that had a nice kind of atmosphere to it, that you were happy to bring your mum to, for instance, that you wouldn't feel any way, you wouldn't feel ashamed. You know, someone that's clean, that's hygienic, the staff treat you well, you get offered a drink, you know, somewhere that you looked after. So that's always been my dream when creating this place. You know, me and my business partner think on exactly the same wavelength, and we thought to ourselves, we need to create somewhere that people are just happy to chill. Even if you're not coming to get a tattoo, you know, you can look around, look at some clothes, have a look at some art, and you know, just somewhere that you can basically just sit down and relax in. Even if you're not coming to get a piece of work, but you can come in and say hey to the guys, grab a drink, buy a t-shirt if you want, but just somewhere that you're comfortable with. It's just not offensive, it's not scary, it's not, you know, it's not your ordinary tattoo studio. You do get a lot of people that come in and asking for stuff that celebrities have, or stuff that they've seen on, you know, their friends or anything like that. We're very much a custom studio, and so we'd rather kind of sit down with you, go through the ideas of what you want, and interpret it. And so it's not a common tattoo, you know, it's something absolutely unique to you. You know, one thing that we started doing now is, because a lot of the artists that work here paint, and so we sell the original painting and the tattoo for £200, and so therefore you're getting something that's 100% original, and you get to keep the original, and so it's never over reproduced. I think that's the main thing that people need to remember, that so many people are getting tattooed nowadays. I think, you know, in the UK alone, it's 3 in 5 people have a tattoo or piercing. You've just got to keep on thinking about that originality.
I was having a conversation with somebody the other day about people in that kind of spectrum of jobs, so lawyers, doctors, that kind of thing. Traditionally wouldn't have tattoos. But with so many people getting them now, I was saying that the next generation of doctors, lawyers, and that kind of thing, they're going to be having sleeves,
man,
have on the neck, on the hands.
We've got a barrister and he's covered. You know, he'll go into the chambers, all suited up, you wouldn't see a damn thing. But then when he's at the back, kind of, you know, taking off the wig and taking off the robe and stuff, he's got a full bodysuit, man. And it's nice. It's nice that people are embracing it for themselves and not necessarily to show others. I really didn't have, you know, it's really something special. Even my dentist has got a full sleeve.
I've been asked this question, I'm sure you have as well. Like, how do you think you're going to feel about your tattoos on your 80th birthday, for example? When people ask you that, what do you normally come out with?
Well, I started removing some of my stuff already.
Really?
Mainly the stuff that I got done when I was 18. Just because, you know, I've got one long kind of piece of script going up my arm here, stars going around my elbow, and a few pieces up here that don't really fit in with where I'm at in my life now. But the other reason is that I want to have a full sleeve as well, and I can't really have them because of these small pieces that I have. It's to link. So I think, you know, we do laser removal here. Obviously, we think it's a growing market, especially, you know, as I said, because the art is developing so quickly, the techniques, the level, the caliber of artwork that you can get done now compared to 10 years ago is ridiculous. People are just kind of waking up to what they can have. They're getting rid of, like, you know, those Chinese symbols and, you know, the really horrible kind of tribal work, just really simple, generic tattoos, in order to partially remove it and then replace it with something else. And I think that's the next big trend that we can see. Before, laser removal was a really expensive process. You could only go to places like Harley Street to get it done. We save a lot of our overheads because we had it on site here. So they, you know, our laser removal specialists work with tattoo artists and say, okay, well, you don't have to remove it all, you can just partially remove this and we can cover this up. And, you know, it's all about kind of working together. When you have the studios, the laser technicians in a kind of separate place and the tattoo in another place, they don't have that communication. And so with regards to, you know, us having the laser removal here, I think you can start seeing that in a lot more studios over the next 5 years.
Yeah, man, check out Circle Tattoos in Soho. These guys doing some really good stuff. Ashley, main guy here. Yeah, man, come on down, get yourself tatted up, get yourself covered.